guys, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, welcome. We're excited to have you, and please do all to subscribe, like, share, and drop a comment on this video. Guys, see, I need all the energy on this channel, so please let's gather all our community members and get this channel to where it's supposed to be. If this is your first time here, luckily for you, we're doing a bit of a gisting video. As you can see, I'm the only one here today, so it's more like I'm gisting you guys. From the topic, you already have an idea of what this video is about, and it's going to be like a bit of a reintroduction to my story and all of that. I'm kind of excited to share this with you guys because I mean we've been on this journey together, right? So yeah, let's start with the topic for today. So for today's topic, what I titled it as what it feels like to be a mom for a year, lessons and mistakes. But basically I'm taking you my 1 year journey into motherhood. I can't believe it's been a year. Let me just start with saying that. Honestly, time flies. I assure you. It just, before you open your eyes and close your eyes, like time has already gone. It really is amazing and also so beautiful. So like I said, if you're new to this channel, lucky you, because I'm going to start from let's start from the very beginning, the very something sound of music. okay, let's be serious here. So my motherhood journey, I'll start from before pregnancy. As you may or may not know, before I had my child, I was at the point of my life where I wasn't even sure I wanted children. Like, it was that bad. Minus, I mean, why? Maybe because I know of what having a child can be like. I mean, top of your head, you have the idea. Same way every mom to be. Almost anytime I post anything about pregnancy or motherhood, you will see at least a mom to be say, I'm afraid though. Why people scaring me? And I can so relate because I used to be that person, and I think now I have it in my heart to really help moms to be feel so comfortable and confident in motherhood, right? I mean, this channel obviously doesn't downplay what it is to be a mother, but from someone like me that had those fears became a reality, struggled, and then I've come out of it, and I'm now like living in it, and I'm happy. I can assure you that, see, whatever your fears, as legit they may be, it's I don't know the words really. It is, I feel like your fears are just holding you back, right, from so much beauty and so much joy that you could actually experience, right? I saw a quote, very recently, that says, both faith and fear demand for you to believe in something you cannot see. You choose. And I love that quote so much because you can either choose to have faith that motherhood is going to be beautiful for you, because the truth is, even in my own journey, I've seen moms that motherhood is the exact opposite for them. I'm not saying they don't get overwhelmed like any other thing. Same, I saw that quote recently that said something about like just because you love what you are doing doesn't mean you won't get burnt out, doesn't mean you won't get tired, doesn't mean you won't get overwhelmed. And I did a post about that. See, whether or not to become a mother, you are going to become burnt out in your life. Like, life is designed in a way to frustrate you on the steady. Sorry to, but you get my point, right? So whether or not to become a mother, you are going to be burnt out once in a while. You are going to get tired once in a while. You are going to get overwhelmed once in a while. It's just the nature of life. It's, yes, I know that being a mom, you have a bit of a role to play in that, but whether or not to become a mom, right, those things, there's still some factors in life that will always still play out. So I want us to have another, and that's one important thing I want us to do in this channel, help you change those fears. Because again, as someone that had those fears and I've come out of it, I can assure you, your fears are just holding you back, and I don't want you to go through that long process, that long journey of recovering and healing that I had to go through. If maybe I had known these things beforehand, or I had time to work on my fears and just really have faith and really enjoy the journey, I know deep in my heart that motherhood would have been so different for me. And every day I just wish that I actually had that faith, I actually had that joy. I didn't have to struggle so much. So that's why I carried on my head to ensure that you guys don't allow your fears define what your motherhood journey will be, and don't allow your fears make it a reality. I didn't plan on that introduction. It just came out. So I hope that really helps someone. But now let's now go back and start from the very beginning. Let's start from the very beginning. The beginning again, alright? Like I said, I was so afraid. The same reason everybody's probably afraid. Time. You don't have your time anymore. You don't have an individual that totally depends on you. Things are going to change, and all of that, right? And then I got pregnant, and then pregnancy itself wasn't so easy. I was vomiting to like 20 weeks. I vomited again about 30 something weeks. I had high blood pressure, sorry. I got induced into labor at 37 weeks. I was in labor for like 24 hours. That's the emergency section. The first 1 week of my child coming to my life were like horrible because of the state I was in, mentally, right? And I was honestly unhappy, and it gradually became depression. And okay, so at first I felt that maybe I was depressed because I didn't have enough help. I didn't have enough, hands to properly give me time for myself, which is why mothers, please try and get as much help as you can. It is very, very important. But even after I got the help that I needed, I was still depressed, right? I was still unhappy. And so the weird thing was that, how life can be very funny, right? So I felt bad for feeling the way I was feeling because you have a child. Like, this is something a lot of people are looking for. This is a blessing. It's not as if God sends it to you as a punishment. I don't know what came to my mind, but yeah, it is a blessing, right? A lot of people want this. A lot of people are praying for this, and you have the opportunity to have this, and then you are being depressed. I actually even felt bad. So I think maybe in denial, not wanting to, really say my emotions or think about it too much, because whenever I think about it, I was feeling bad. I was even feeling this way in the first place, but I wasn't helping. I had to come true to myself and tell myself the truth. And I knew that the real reason I was feeling that was because I missed my old life, in quotes, so much. I mean, the ability to sleep whenever I wanted to sleep, have a good night's sleep. If I like, I should watch movies to 3 a.m. Go out, as in even to date. I can't just up my bag and say, oh, I'm leaving the house for 5-6 hours. Like, my movement is so limited, my time is so limited. I mean, it was just a whole lot, and I was just finding it so difficult to embrace and accept this new life. But with the help of God, especially, honestly, God really came through for me. With the help of God and intentionally working on myself and wanting to heal, because it got to a point where I said, see, nah, you can't keep doing this to yourself. If anyone has ever suffered from depression or some form of mental stress, there's a way it even begins to tell on your physical body. And no matter how many times you go to the hospital, they're not going to see anything wrong with you, because what it's doing is internal, right? It's not exactly like a sickness or something. So it was eating at me emotionally, mentally, spiritually. It was honestly terrible. And I told myself that, see, I can't keep doing this, and I had to work on myself. And I won't say I'm 100%, but I am so much better. And in fact, the other day I had a friend right over my house, and then my daughter was, how children can be, wanting to move around, wanting to scatter everywhere, and she was like, that child, she has still another reason to wait. I don't get that wrong. It's not an offensive statement. I'm not offended. She didn't say anything wrong. Actually, because I can relate, because Shaun of last year or like 2 years ago would have felt that same way if I see a child scattering everywhere, or I see a mother struggling to keep her child in one place, or I see a mother looking, maybe not, how mother can look sometimes. I'll be like, nah, I'm so not doing this, right? But it was like, for me, it was so different. I was happy. Like, see, the biggest joy of my life right now is seeing my child play. See, there are times where I'm just staring at her, watching her play, like she's just in her own world. Or whenever she comes, like, one of my best things or most fun things to do right now is actually playing with my daughter. So that one thing that used to be like a fear, used to be I don't want to do this, has now turned to one of my favorite things to do. And I think maybe it's me embracing it. I don't know. Yeah, I think that was also part of it. I began to, embrace the journey, and it's a new life. Yes, it's something different. Nobody likes change. It's very difficult to settle into change, but once you begin to embrace the change and you stop fighting it, I assure you it's going to become I mean, so beautiful. So yeah, I think so far, if I was to summarize what motherhood has been for me in the past 1 year, it's been a lot. It has been a whole lot, but it's also been very beautiful, right? I won't even be here today if I was not a mother. I'd never in my life thought I'd have, like, a YouTube channel and do all of this, but I do it with so much joy and intentionality because of the experience I had. Like I said, it's not been the easiest of journeys, but once you are able to put structure into your life, I mean, have the right help, have a good mentality, a good heart towards it, and show you that it's going to get better, and it's going to, you're going to actually love it and enjoy it. Yeah. So now that I've talked about the whole beginning, I just highlighted some things I could remember, maybe things that really stood out for me in the past 1 year, lessons that I have really learned, and maybe mistakes that I've made. And just to show you guys some things that really struck me this past 1 year. And I don't know if you're a mom, please, in the comment section, you can also, share whatever it is that stood out to you. I mean, I'm sure there are people that have done more than 1 year as a mom, so you can let us know what has stood out to you as a mom, even if just 3 months, 6 months. I mean, you're in it already. So let us know what has stood out for you so far. But for me, I just have like different things that struck me as occurred to me in the past 1 year. I mean, and like, some mistakes that I wish I had not made, or things I wish I'd done differently. And the first thing I have learned is in that motherhood is different for everyone. I know this might seem like an obvious point, like obviously motherhood is different from everyone, but for me it became more of like a reality when I had, other people that were close to me, and they were becoming moms, and they were having totally different experience. Because I'm especially when you speak to a lot of moms like me, everybody kind of has like the same problem, but maybe not really the same problem. Of course, everybody struggles with sleepless nights, everybody struggles with maybe the breastfeeding or not breastfeeding. There are just some things that are obviously, going to happen once you become a mom. But realize that motherhood also so different from everyone. That's why I want to encourage people that as much as there are a lot of, I want to use the word negative stories, because it's people's experience and nobody means to make it negative. It's just how that, motherhood has affected them. But as much as there are those stories out there, it's not everybody's reality, right? And it is not everybody's one way. I don't know how to put it, right? For example, I asked a mom yesterday at my gym. I was like, okay, how's your pregnancy journey? She was like, it was fine. I think that's like the first 1 out of 10 mom I've heard. I didn't say, so I vomited, if I'm pregnant. She just said, she made it look like she had break. Like all she did was, I just ate, like I just like made it so simple and easy. Do you get? And I mean, even there are moms that labor was so easy for them, or it was, smoother than others. Even the first 3 months, I know of moms that were never depressed. I mean, we've done a video, right, where there was a particular mom that talked about how she never experienced postpartum depression. That may be 1 out of 5 months, but that 1 out of 5 months can also be you, which is my point, right? Motherhood is so different for everyone. It affects people differently. And another thing I'll say is the way you think is going to affect you may be so different from how it actually turns out. I'm saying that because the same happened for me. As much as my fears became a reality, I also did not know I was going to be a very soft mom. Especially because my parents are not exactly the softies, right? I mean, not like they're typical African parents. Let me just put it that way. They're typical African parents. I grew up with, firm, disciplined hands. So I always assumed that I'll be very firm with my daughter. But people that know me, there's some cries that I cannot hear my daughter cry. I've come to come and carry. I don't have energy for a let her cry and leave her baby's cry. That's your business. Maybe if I can solve a problem, I will solve a problem. And I never knew I was going to be that kind of mom. Like, honestly. So you never really know how it's going to affect you. You never really know what your pregnancy journey is going to be like. You can't tell how your body responds to it. You can't tell how the first 3 months will be like for you. So I mean, as always, embrace it, right? And just know that yours doesn't have to be the crazy side or the terrible stories that you hear. You can actually have a very smooth pregnancy journey. Start with whatever you choose to believe. Are you going to feed in your fears, or are you going to feed in your faith, right? So yeah. And then another lesson, or another thing that occurred to me in this past 1 year is, I tag it as the first time mom. I don't know what to call it, but there's this thing about being a first time mom. And maybe I think it's a bit different from everyone, but it's still the same. And it's normal for a new experience. It's something you've never done before. You don't, like I said, you don't know what to expect. You don't know what's going to come at you. You don't know how you are going to respond and all of that. So there's a thing where first time moms can be very clingy to their babies. It's Marie. Is it Marie or Maria from Big Brother? She has a show, Moms Next Door. You guys should check it out. It's quite nice. And she talked about how, as a mom, nobody to carry her baby. Like, she said her mother had to sit her down one time and ask her that, did I offend you? Did I do anything wrong to you? Like, why would you allow me carry my grandson? Or, and I think hers is another extreme. But I've realized that first time moms always want to hold on to their baby, and a lot of people don't get it, especially maybe the moms or mother-in-laws that are around to help, because everybody sees that child as a child, but the truth is nobody understands that it's the mother that actually carry, like, is the mother. So it can be very difficult. Or first time moms, they are the ones that want to do everything themselves. They don't want any help. I think a lot of moms can be like that. There's a way you want things to be done exactly, and you find it difficult when someone wants to do it. It's different from how you do it or how you want to do it. So I don't know, there's this clinginess, there's this, I don't know if I'll say attention to detail. There's just this first time mom behavior. For even doctors, that's why whenever you go to us, they'll ask you, is this your first time? Are you? Because they know there are just certain things you expect from a first time mom. So there are things like that. And okay, I'll just say, as a first time mom, be careful not to push the people that love you just as much as you love that child away out of your behavior, right? That's also another thing that I really learned. Try and listen to other people. Accept help. Yes, people may not do it exactly the way you want to do it, but will it get the job done, and will the baby still be safe? If he answers those two questions, be open to it, right? I know you want your baby to be beside you, but this child is going to be in your life forever. Do you understand? Like 2 hours, sorry, excuse me, 2 hours, 1 minute, whatever away from the child is not going to kill you. The child is still going to be yours. So calm down, try and get help, try and get rest. I don't know what other first time mom behavior, any other mom that can relate to this, whatever crazy or funny thing that you did as a first time mom, right? But because for me, I didn't know. I didn't know that these are just things that happen, as a first time mom, right? So if you get to that point and you're acting funny or crazy or interesting, be aware of it. Work on the areas that you need to work on, but just know that you are not abnormal. You are not the only person that reacted this way or acted this way, right? Yeah. Okay, so another lesson I've learned as a mom is this thing, and I keep saying, I've said it a lot of times in my videos, and is that it is just a phase. I feel like it's something that you should even say if you're a mom and you're overwhelmed right now. Like, close your eyes and tell yourself, it is just a phase. It is just a phase, right? Pregnancy is 9 months. Whether or not you like it, max 42 weeks, that child is coming out of you. Pregnancy is a phase of it. The first 3 months of your child is a phase. The next 3 months is another phase. Every single thing doesn't last forever. Like, right now, my child is grown. The other day, okay, so my child uses, and my daughter, she uses an open cup right now to drink water. So the other day, I think she wanted water, but I wasn't really getting what she was saying at first. So the cup was on the table. She actually took the cup and drank water. I was like, what? But children, by the time she realized all that, she started pouring and playing. But the fact that she could do that, I was like, in shock. Or okay, there's something that we do. My daughter likes to clap a lot, so I do this clap with her. So that she'll just come to you, she'll bring your hands together and clap, like she'll be clapping her hands. Or peekaboo. There's a period I used to play peekaboo with her. My point is, few months ago, my daughter could what can a newborn do? But that newborn phase, I don't know why the baby is crying, that newborn tiredness, it was just a phase. And then in the next few months, she's going to keep growing. Very soon, I won't need to be feeding her again. Very soon, she'll know how to sleep by herself. Like, whatever it is that is stressing you or it's overwhelming you as a mom, for me, what always helped me get through was knowing that it's just a phase. And because I know that this period is not going to last forever, I've stopped being in a hurry to, let this phase quickly go. Like, okay, another thing I'm a bit concerned about is potty training my daughter. But I told myself is that whether or not I like it, this child is going to grow up. Like, she's like, it's just a thing of life. She's going to eventually know how to do this thing. Like, she's going to grow and know it one way or the other. So I don't need to over stress or allow it overwhelm me too much, right? So yeah, it's just a phase. Honestly, whatever it is that your fears or whatever it is that your concerns, honestly, everything is going to be a phase. The child is not going to be 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7. The child is growing just as you are growing. And for me, like I said, I take it as, a thing of joy, a thing of beauty, and I just taking my time to soak in whatever phase that she is before she outgrows, because I assure you, these children grow so fast. Like, how is it 1 year already? They grow so fast. I mean, this video is, I don't know if it's different from what you expected before you watch this video, or I don't know what your expectation was, because for me, I feel like this may not be typical things you hear of a mom from her first day of being as a mom. I really don't know. I don't know how many videos are out there talking about, first year being as a mom, right? But I mean, halfway through this video, what are you guys thinking? What vibe are you getting? Are you enjoying it? Was this your expectation? Or even if you have questions about motherhood and there are things I haven't talked about, maybe how I navigated a particular phase, how I think about this or that, you can let me know in the comment section, or always, reach out to me on Instagram. I'll always put my handle in my videos, and yeah, we'll talk about it or discuss about it. So we have another point here, and this is marry well. Jesus. See, in this channel, I'm not a relationship coach, and I don't really talk about marriage a lot. But one thing I'm going to tell you is that, see, I remember the last video that we just did. Go and watch it. We talked about marriage, and when we're talking, I have to mention it to our guests that, see, all of these things that we're talking about are going to be difficult to work on if the person you married in the first place has issues, right? And I don't know what my advice to anyone before you marry is, please focus on the important things, right? For me, I had non-negotiables, right? There were things I wasn't going to settle or compromise on when it comes to marriage. No matter, even like, and I think there were just about 3 things, right? I don't care if you had 2. If you didn't have the third one, we're not entering that marriage. I wasn't in any way going to manage or compromise or hope that it would change. No. Right? And I think once you can, and don't be afraid that nobody will love you, you will find love. Calm down. I'm sorry. I hope that didn't sound insensitive. I'm so sorry. But yeah, my point is that, please, when it comes to who you marry, don't compromise. Don't joke with it. Like, if there's anything in your heart that you are not comfortable with, address it as much as you can in the relationship before you enter marriage. And if it's not working, I beg you, end that relationship. Because when you have kids, when you have kids, and another thing is that having children brings out different sides of both mother and father. Like I said, I became like, okay, from our last video, it wasn't exactly like you changed. Let's just say life just brought out a part of you that probably wasn't really dominant, right? So yeah, and then even your partner too, you both of you are navigating this new phase. Having someone that is patient, that is kind, that is loving, that is supportive, that is understanding, that is willing to just work with you really well with this phase and love you through it regardless of whatever comes out of it, is very, 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 very important. There are a lot of stories, right, from how even your in-laws, right, your partner, I don't know where to start from. Right? But please, just really, really marry well. Don't at all, don't manage, don't say we'll address it in the marriage. Don't address anything in the marriage, address everything in the relationship, right? And ensure, no one is perfect, right? There'll be, like I said, know your non-negotiables as a person. What are the things that you cannot compromise on in a person, right? Know your non-negotiables and know the things you can manage or deal with or compromise on. For example, let's say people are different. For some men, it's very important that their wives can cook. For some women, it's very important that their partner can cook. For someone like me, I mean, do you get, let's shall eat. So, so for some other people, it may be that you can't compromise on marrying a kind person. Do you? I don't think that should be non-negotiable, right? But yeah, you by yourself know what it is. If you have to sit down, think about it, and write it out, please do, and take out your time. That's what a relationship is all about, right? The dating phase is not just for playing. The courtship is not for playing. You're supposed to really know yourselves and work on yourselves. I think I've addressed this point enough, and I'm addressing it like this because it can cancel every single thing we've talked about all through this video if you do not marry well. Thank you very much for listening. Okay, let's go to our next point, right? Our next point is we're talking about postpartum depression. I think I've talked about this a lot. I have a video on just postpartum depression. I'm hoping to even do another video having a therapist on it, but and in the last video that we have on my channel on postpartum depression, where moms talking about their own experiences, some of the things highlighted were stress. Some people were not actually depressed, they just really needed, a lot of help. What else was making people depressed? I mean, for me, it was more of not accepting my new life, because I mean that's how to talk about your fears, dealing with your fears as much as you can before you get into that life, because they can come back to haunt you. So I had to now deal with my fear as a mom, and I mean, I thank God that I've overcame, and I'm where I am today, right? But yeah, like I said, we've talked about postpartum depression a lot on this channel, but I just I really need to emphasize it, because if I wasn't depressed, man, there are so many things that could have happened so differently in my 1 year as a mom. So many things could have happened differently. But yeah, I'm still grateful for how it all turned out. So yeah, postpartum depression is real. Don't overlook it. And men too, please pay attention to your wives and help her, go through that phase, right? Okay. I think another thing which I've kind of talked about is the beauty of watching your child grow. I think I talked about this a lot. It's just one of my favorite things, right? When I talked about how each phase, and yeah, for me, watching my child grow is just one of the most beautiful things. Honestly, it's something to look forward to. With each day, there's something new about them, and there's something exciting about them to see. And that is all I think for my lessons. And for now, I just have one mistake. I don't know why. What my mistakes? Yeah, maybe another mistake is, like I said, dealing with my fears earlier. That would have, I think, changed a lot of things. But another mistake is not ensuring my daughter was taking bottle. So I know I've mentioned a lot in this channel, but again, for people that are new, at the beginning, my daughter was taking bottle. She was on. So we're doing combined, that is formula and breastfeeding, right? But all this pressure of give a baby breast milk and do exclusive and this one, that one. There was so much pressure on my head for it. So I was trying to also connect my what's that thing called? My supply wasn't enough. My daughter eats quite a lot, right? So I had to be supplementing with formula for her. And at some point I was expressing, which was also very convenient for me, and I started giving her that in bottle. But I think it was at that point she started to reject bottle, and I didn't notice on time. To cut the long story short, my daughter started rejecting bottle, and trying to get her to take bottle was very traumatic for me, because she would cry, she would scream, it was just too much. And I tried, but maybe I didn't try enough, maybe I was just so fragile. I really don't know, but I just really wish I see her taking bottle. And it's a big of a deal, because imagine when you're the only one that can feed your baby. Breast milk is an important part of any child's development. Breast milk or formula. Milk is milk. You need milk for your dog. Okay, milk is not milk, but my point is, you need milk for your baby to grow, whatever way you are choosing to do it, right? And then they need milk to a certain, at least, age. I thank God that now she's taking solid food, and she doesn't eat like all those every 2 hours. At least, I mean, yesterday, for example, she ate in the morning and she didn't eat till almost like 9 p.m, right? So her appetite has really changed. But in between that time, she's going to be sucking breast. Whenever she sleeps, she's going to need breast. So as I'm going out, you're almost literally timing yourself, ensuring that I won't say your baby can suck. Imagine if she had bottle. But I thought I've carried her to her grandma's house a very long time ago, so I can have a few days to myself, right? So I think that is one thing I wish I actually try to work on. And like I said, all of this is just my own experience. I'm just sharing my journey with you guys, right? And I hope it helps somebody, inspire somebody, it teaches you something. But again, my journey does not need to be your template. My journey doesn't need to be your reality, right? I'm just sharing things that have stood out for me and hoping it can help somebody out there. So guys, yeah, we've come to the end of this video, and I'm officially, well, not officially, in a few weeks time, I'm going to be a mom to a 1 year old. For me, that's like such a very huge milestone, right? I mean, I'm really grateful. Wow, I'm proud of myself because it's been the hardest year of my life. It's tested me so much, it stretched me so much, but I'm so proud of myself, and I'm so happy that I've been able to come out of this strong and happy, and I mean so much better than where I was when I first had my daughter, when I was pregnant. So I think that's one thing I'm really happy and excited about, and I'm now more excited about, you know, the next years of our life, and even having, you know, my second child, because now I know better. So yeah, if you have any questions, any comments, do well to drop them in the comment section. You guys should subscribe. Well, how should I beg you? Subscribe, share this video, tell someone to, you know, I mean, subscribe, like, share, drop a comment, and yeah, let me know if there's any other thing you love for us to talk about, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.